How difficult has it been for you to watch the first 5 weeks from the sidelines and not be on the field?
Um, I would say it's been extremely difficult just because, just from a standpoint of how our program is doing, knowing that I could be part of the success that we're having and contributing to the team, it makes me feel that I'm not contributing as much as I should have been. So it's extremely hard to just watch something that you love so much on the sidelines. But most of what I'm trying to do now is just be there for the team any way I could possibly.
Obviously the DBs have kind of had some struggles, most notably last Saturday. Does that kind of add to maybe your frustration and not being? I mean, I know they're still young, Lorenzo, Devin, Ian. They're all still young. They're still gaining experience. But does that kind of, in the back of your mind, kind of frustrate you that they're kind of having a hard time every once in a while?
Yeah, I feel that as a DB group, we're a family, and I feel left out as the family. Just being probably that bigger brother role and knowing the chemistry of the defenses and just film and just having that bond with those young guys to help them understand the game and see it in a different light. It makes me feel that I wish I could help more, definitely.
Now, you've kind of taken a role, though, as like an unofficial coach of the team. I mean, talk about that, because as far as you mentioned the bonding, I mean, that it seems like you guys have grown closer. And you've really kind of helped these guys out because, I mean, you played last year against a lot of the receivers that they're going to be going up against in MAC play.
Definitely. The bond that we've created is definitely something of great importance, and the coaching job that, just the role that's been thrown on me, and, we joke around about it, me and the coaches, but it's exciting. It's just a good opportunity to help those in that situation and just really explore the details of how and what techniques they should use here and there and versus different receivers, and just knowing that I'm a part of helping these guys is something that it makes me feel better.
How different is it being a coach versus being a player? And is that something that, I mean, when your football career is over, do you think you could see yourself coaching maybe? I mean, you're getting your feet wet now.
It definitely feels different, just because I'm taking coaching classes right now and just seeing how coaches react towards players and things like that. It gives you a different perspective from a player standpoint and a coaching standpoint as well. So it's definitely different, and you have to have a more laissez-faire approach as far as some of the techniques that you use and explanations for different players. But it's interesting. I'm glad I'm able to be in this position, and the coaches feel comfortable with me doing the job that I'm doing, and not kind of seeing me as something that's hurting, but more so as a big helpful experience.
And from like a coaching standpoint, from an X's and O's standpoint, talk about the potential you see in these younger guys. I mean, they've kind of underperformed, at least by their standards. When I talked to them yesterday, they said they've underperformed, but is the potential there for them to maybe turn into Travis Carries, if not this year, but in the next couple of years?
Well, I wouldn't say Travis Carries, but definitely, they each have their own personalities, and I think the success that we've had now is shown that it's also from the defensive standpoint, and they've held their own for the most part, just in the standpoint that we're 5-0 and we're undefeated. So they see themselves as I see myself as once as being real hard on themselves as far as grading standpoint. And Coach Reed does a great job as far as examining and breaking down things for each player so that they know what their weaknesses and their strengths are. And he does a great job teaching and coaching as well. So you kind of got that support from a coaching standpoint that gives them that confidence level that they're trying to increase as far as the standpoint of them playing.
And just kind of going off that, when I talked to Lorenzo and Ian yesterday, and they were both really hard on themselves, and they said that we can play better than we're playing now. I guess now that you're in that coaching role, is that cool to see for you? I mean, that these guys are pushing themselves even harder, and they're trying to reach their full potential, their full level of talent.
I definitely say that me being that way as well, Coach Reed always said that, don't be so hard on yourself. But I think them being hard on themselves is a good aspect because they're not comfortable with what they've been playing at, the level that they've been playing at. So them being hard on themselves is kind of a good thing just because you see always more potential for you to get better. So I think that's a good thing for them.
As far as, again, from a coach perspective, from an X's and O's standpoint, what do they need to improve on the most? Is it physical? Is it mental? Is it just preparing better for games?
I think it's more mental. I think the confidence level of each of the young guys, it's something that you have to repetition. It's repetition as far as years played and reps that you've gotten in the game, which allows you to boost your confidence and just puts that confidence level at a high that, you know, you feel that no one can touch you, you're unstoppable. So I think that's mostly what needs to be seen in their light as something I need to improve on, is the confidence level. Because once you have that at that position, if your confidence level is extremely high, then you will perform at a high level.
Lastly, I want to ask about you a little bit. You said you're on schedule right now. I mean, you said you're going to be lifting in a month and a half, 2 months. Would you like to play again for Ohio University next year? Is that your goal?
Oh, definitely. I've got the medical red shirt, so I'll be back next year. I'm taking classes now. I got into the grad school programs, which is very well. You know, it's very exceptional that in the short time frame that I was injured, I was still able to get into the grad school program. So I'm in the grad school program. Just it gives me a different light of what's going on. You know, I'm taking on the more serious classes and things like that. And you know, the football thing right now is just recovering, things like that. So definitely I'll be back next year, and it'll be exciting.
And it seems like you have a really positive mindset. I mean, it seems like, has that really helped you, just kind of staying positive through this injury and helping out your team?
Definitely. I can say that the first week of the injury was not so much positive. It was actually more negative than anything. And there's nothing that's going to come from negative energy. So talking to coaches and family members and other outside sources that I had, they put my mind frame in a more positive mind frame. So it's helped a lot, and the more and more I stay positive about each day, it helps me get through the pain of not playing and the situation that I'm in.